G'day cocktail lovers, I hope you've been keeping well. I hope the travails of the season have not been too much for you, given just how strange the world is for many people at the moment. Lockdowns around the world. Don't want to skite and say I don't have lockdowns here at the moment, but I don't. But I know some people have been completely isolated because of COVID. Other people have had plans messed up, and this holiday period, Christmas, everything else is stressful at the best of times. So I know it can be super difficult at the moment. So I hope you're okay. I hope you're looking for a bit of a distraction. Time for another cocktail. Look, as we race towards New Year's Eve, maybe some drink ideas for New Year's Eve. I was looking at, what could we do in the lead up to New Year's? And I did notice Monday, the 28th of December, had been declared Chocolate Day. I thought every day was Chocolate Day, but apparently and I think there is actually competing chocolate days. More than one day in the calendar is declared Chocolate Day by someone. But it's an excuse as far as I'm concerned. So, I'm not even going to edit that out. That's just natural. I don't know how far back I'd have to go back to edit that out. I don't know what that was. That was inhaling. You don't want to know. I was just inhaling a bit of spit. I don't know what that's about. Moving on. Chocolate Sazerac is what I'm going to make. Sazerac is a cocktail I'm quite fond of. There are a lot of riffs on it. And when I saw it was Chocolate Day, there was a suggestion to do a Chocolate Sazerac. And that works for me. Here we go. First up, we want an Absinthe Rinse for our Sazerac. There are a few different ways to do this. Some people will put absinthe in an atomizer and spritz the inside of their glass with a very light coating of absinthe. Some people say put some ice in the glass and put just maybe a quarter of a shot of absinthe in, and then tip it out before you put the other ingredients in. If you do that with ice, that's the double purpose of chilling the glass and putting the absinthe rinse in. And some actually say put absinthe and water in the glass and then tip that out, then add the ingredients. I'm going to tip it out into another drink because absinthe's like the most expensive spirit I own, and I'm not going to throw it out, but I'm going to do it. So, first up, got my absinthe. I like this particular brand. They color code the strengths of their absinthe. Green is the most common color for absinthe. The Jacques Sirot green absinthe is 70% alcohol. Then they do a red one that's 75%. This blue one that's 80% alcohol, and a black one that's 85% alcohol. I think the blue still makes for a good color in cocktails. The black just tends to make drinks go black and murky. Tastes good though. So I'm just gonna eyeball this because I'll be tipping it out. So I'm gonna put you think like a quarter of a shot in there, and I've got my big chunk of ice in there chilling the glass, and it's going to spread that absinthe around. And in line with the suggestion of putting some water in there, I'm actually going to put a little bit of soda in, so I have this nice side drink after. It again goes with getting that absinthe flavour in the glass and chilling the glass with a bit of extra liquid in there. We've got this special soda. It's an Australian one. It's very lightly flavoured with blood orange, but you can use tap water or just plain soda water. But I'm just going to put that in there. You see it looshing nicely. That's what it's called when absinthe goes cloudy, when you add it to water or anything else. It's looshing. So I'm going to leave that to chill and get that absinthe flavour in the glass. And I will be tipping that out into another glass, so I have two drinks at the end of the day. Some people make a Sazerac with cognac, some make it with whiskey, and when they're doing whiskey, some people prefer bourbon, some prefer a rye whiskey. And some people will do a split base between whiskey and cognac. So there's a fair bit of room in what you can do and still call it a Sazerac. I'm using whiskey. I'm using an Australian whiskey. This is from Starwood, a local distillery, one of their single malt whiskies they call Nova. I personally think this is particularly good, and I have got a couple of friends into it as well. But you go with the whiskey or cognac of your choice. I'm going to put 2 ounces, 60 mils in. Now, this is a chocolate Sazerac, so we're going to add some creme de cacao, some white creme de cacao. You could put brown creme de cacao in, but I'm going to go with a lighter profile for the drink. But only half a shot, only 15 mils, half an ounce of white creme de cacao, just to give a nice bit of rich chocolate flavour to our Sazerac. And we're going to put just a little sweetener in. Some people like to use actual sugar and they might muddle it with the bitters. We put Peychaud's bitters in this drink. Some people, like me, prefer sugar syrup, but just a little bit. And in terms of sugar syrup, this is one I've made up earlier. I'm just going to put about a quarter of an ounce, quarter to a half an ounce of sugar syrup. This is down to your personal taste. It's already being sweetened by the creme de cacao, so it doesn't need a lot, but I'm just going to put about a quarter of an ounce of sugar syrup in. The final touch is some Peychaud's bitters or another Creole bitters if you happen to have that. Peychaud's is the famous one down in New Orleans where yon drink was born. The Sazerac is one of the ultimate New Orleans drinks, and Peychaud's is traditional, but Creole bitters that you happen to have. And we're going to put 2 dashes of the Peychaud's bitters into our Sazerac. This is a stirred cocktail, so we add ice to our mixing glass. I'm going to stir it. And here I get to say thanks to my friend Annette, who gave me this for Christmas. This is a stirring finger. This is a cast of Gaz Regan's finger. Gary Regan is one of the more famous bartenders of the modern era. The story goes he was very busy in a bar one night and he was mixing a bunch of drinks that were stirred cocktails, and he was so busy he didn't have time to mess around, and he stirred them with his finger, much to the shock and horror of everyone. But now you too can stir with Gaz Regan's finger. This is an actual commercial product you can buy, a stirrer with an actual mold of Gary Regan's finger. So just going to stir this, and by the way, thank you Annette, this improved my stirring game so much. Don't you ever noticed when I stir cocktails with a spoon? I am bad at it, and I normally make a mess and a noise, but this works a treat. And I think that's probably enough stirring. Before I put the Sazerac in my glass with the Absinthe Rinse, I have to extract the absinthe, making only a small mess there, but that's going to leave an absinthe flavour in our glass, and I have a nice little Absinthe Frappe to drink afterwards. Trying to do a lot of things with my hands here. Here we go. Now straining. I'm just doing a simple strain. No need to double strain this into the glass. My clever invisible ice coming into its own. Got that wonderful colour from the bitters, from the Peychaud's bitters. And this is why I used white creme de cacao rather than brown, because this would be a very dark drink if I used brown creme de cacao. I also was tempted to use a brown sugar syrup that I have because it's got a great flavour, but then I thought, oh no, then it's just going to be dark bordering on opaque. So I used a straight up simple syrup and the Peychaud's bitters, so you've got this really nice colour. This drink is a classic, doesn't really require a garnish. You could do a lemon twist or an orange twist, even a cherry on a skewer if you're so inclined, but I think it stands on its own. I'm also lazy and has a wonderful aroma. There's just a tiny hint from the Absinthe Rinse, but you can smell the bitters and the whiskey. Smells great. Oh, I do like stirred whiskey cocktails. This one is really simple. Oh, and the chocolate is not over the top. This is sweeter than an average Sazerac, and it does have that chocolatey, velvety mouthfeel from the thick liqueur. So it's a nice, it is a comparatively subtle variation on a Sazerac. It's one you can tweak endlessly. Like if you really like the absinthe, you could put more than an Absinthe Rinse in. You could actually put, 5 to 7 mils of absinthe in here, which I have done in the past, but oh yeah, this is one I really like. And thank you, Chocolate Day, for giving me the excuse to make this, the Chocolate Sazerac. And I mean, I thought this was also a little different, because when you think chocolate, you start to think very dessert-oriented cocktails. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. But I thought this one would be a little bit different. And I've done a Sazerac riff recently. Here's another one. It's a very versatile drink. For a fairly simple template, you can do a lot of tweaking to give it character in a lot of different ways. Definitely suggest you try it. If you have a particular tweak on the Sazerac you like, I'd love to hear it, because there's so much you can do with. And hey, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, it would be great if you did. Hit the little bell so you get notifications when I upload, and feel free to let me know if there's a particular thing you'd like to see in a future video, because I'll be doing many more videos, counting down to New Year's Eve, see what we can do between now and then. I hope you take care of yourself, take care of the people around you. We live in weird times. We've got to look after each other more than usual in these times. And hey, a little diversion with a nice cocktail now and then definitely doesn't go astray. I'm going to finish this off. Wish you all the best. Hope to see you again soon. Cheers.